Mrs. Parker brings her 1-year-old son Caleb to the ER of Pittsburgh Children's Hospital after he experienced a brief seizure. Once they're checked in, the receptionist gives Mrs. Parker a welcome kit and brings her and Caleb to an examination room. The doctor suspects Caleb might have meningitis and orders some tests. While waiting, Mrs. Parker opens her welcome kit and finds wallet cards listing hospital facilities and phone numbers. She also finds Direct Care Mobile, an information device that shows the latest updates on Caleb's care, the current course of treatment, and links to more information about his condition. Mrs. Parker reads a little bit about seizures and feels better because she is now more informed. She also uses Direct Care Mobile to note some questions to ask the doctor later. After Caleb's tests are done, Mrs. Parker and Caleb are taken to an intermediary care unit for the night. Mrs. Parker is delighted to find a gift from Children's Hospital waiting for her on the couch. Inside, she finds a toy and blanket for Caleb and a disposable camera with a note encouraging her to take some photos of Caleb while he's here. While the nurse starts an IV for Caleb, Mrs. Parker uses her Direct Care in-room display to learn more about meningitis. The display notifies her that a doctor will arrive within the hour. Direct Care helps Mrs. Parker keep informed and feel like she and Caleb are being taken care of. When the doctor arrives, he confirms that Caleb has meningitis and says that Caleb will have to stay at the hospital until the meningitis clears. He explains the new plan for Caleb's treatments and asks Mrs. Parker if she has any questions. She reviews the questions she noted earlier on Direct Care. The next day, Mrs. Parker goes home to pick up a few things for herself and Caleb. She receives an update on Direct Care Mobile about some blood work that Caleb had done earlier that morning and sends this to her husband at work to let him in on Caleb's condition. Mrs. Parker can also check up on Caleb with the webcam feature on the device to feel connected while she's away from him. 2 weeks later, when Caleb is discharged, Mrs. Parker receives a goodbye gift, complete with photos taken during their stay, some reminder appointment cards, and a card with a website where she can access all of Caleb's Direct Care information. Even though she hopes she will not have to return for a future visit, Mrs. Parker is thankful that they left her feeling confident and knowledgeable, and is glad she chose Pittsburgh Children's Hospital for her son's care.